These plants can seriously knock you down. Dragon's blood tree. The dragon is one animal that, even though extinct, rings a bell. When a tree is named after a dragon's blood, it's out for something serious. The dragon's blood tree got its name from its crimson sap, which resembles blood. This happens due to anti-inflammatory and gastrointestinal properties that are used for numerous household and beauty items. It is also believed that the fluid has mystical properties and is used to enhance spells in ritual magic. It's unclear how this works, but people who know this tree too well have attested to its magical properties. Venus flytrap. The Venus flytrap is also known as the king of predators in the plant world. It has a trapping mechanism that has a mouth you probably thought only animals could have. An active mouth for chewing right, it also boasts of trigger hairs that sense prey and keep them from escaping. One wonders how it can tell the difference between a catch and a passerby. The plant can quickly tell the difference between live prey and non-prey like raindrops. It would let smaller prey that are not worth it go while holding on to larger ones since they're worth the energy for digestion. Corpse flower. The corpse flower is part of a group of flowers classified as corpse flowers because they smell like rotten flesh. This putrid odor attracts pollinators like flies and beetles. It's sometimes called the world's largest flower because it's made up of smaller flowers. It's beautiful and attracts plant lovers who want to take pictures of it. However, you don't want to experience a corpse smell. It may not be something you can put up with. What's even more bizarre about this plant is that it can further disguise into deceased flesh so that it attracts flies and beetles. Doll's eye. Doll's eyes are native to Northeast America. Little wonder only a fraction of the world knows or have seen them. They resemble typical eyeballs or berries, and as you walk past them it feels like these berries are watching your every move. With their bulging eyeballs, they're beautiful on the outside, but the effect of getting too close to them is one you should never experience. They're highly poisonous and ripen during summer and stay until frost when humans come in contact with them. The effect ranges from cardiac arrest or demise. Brain cactus. First off, this tree resembles the human brain. There are about 8 varieties of this plant native to Mexico and grow in different shapes and sizes. But all of them point to one form, that of the human brain. The more it matures, the more confused you get as to whether someone had dropped their brains on the floor. There are no special benefits of this plant, but its resemblance to the human body part makes us stare in amazement. This happens when the plant is injured at a young age and cannot grow past the painful experience. It then chooses to grow into a twisted, convoluted shape as seen in this video. Giant hogweed. The giant hogweed is another plant that you should not fall victim to. They look innocent on the outside but are far from being so. The sap of this plant can cause nasty blisters, scars, and in rare cases temporary blindness. This sap gets into the nucleus of a person's skin cells and bonds with the DNA. This is because the sap contains a toxic chemical known as photosensitizing furanochromarins. When they come in contact with your skin, they cause a reaction that is extremely sensitive to light. The sting remains for months, and even after it's gone it leaves a purple scar that reminds you of one of the vicious days of your life. Since the plant is beautiful, it's left unchanged until it has injured someone. Cuscuta. The cuscuta is also known as strangleweed. It poses a threat to other animals in the plant kingdom due to its mode of operation. Cuscuta wraps itself around other plants and inserts itself into their vascular systems. It would detach from the roots and solely depend on the host's plant for survival. Because of its operation in the forest, it also got other names like witch's hair, devil's ringlet, and devil's gut. This spooky plant survives in hot climates, with only 4 species native to northern Europe. Humongous fungus. The humongous fungus spreads itself in the American underground in Malheur National Forest. It is a mushroom that has survived through millennia and is considered one of the world's oldest. Barack came across this wonder in the late 1980s during an experiment, and he involved other scientists in exploring it. During their investigation, they realized it was over 1,500 years old and weighed around 100,000 kilograms. This single plant covers an area of 3.7 square miles and could be expanding. Bleeding tooth fungus. There's a plant that is a replica of a bleeding tooth with a more supernatural undertone to it. The bleeding tooth fungus may not fit into a typical description of a gross plant, but it surely contributes its fair share of goose pimples on your skin. This is because the plant produces a jammy gross substance from its pores that resembles blood.